Hi friends, how are you? Welcome to our channel Life is to Live. This is Dr. G. Reddy Shekhar Reddy in front of you. I hope you are enjoying our videos on English grammar. But in between the series, I would like to provide you one general video on effective study skills. Actually, many students don't know how to study effectively, how to study and remember the subject. What is the best practice to remember the subject, to understand the subject and keep it in mind forever? Some students may study something and forget by tomorrow. Some students can learn something and listen to something and forget by a few days. So that is why I am here to provide you some strategy, some effective strategy, how to study and remember the things forever. Actually, what is called the process we have to follow to study effectively, learn the things effectively and remember the things forever. Okay. See, for example, regularly students may listen to the lessons to some subject in the classes. Do you know how much percentage they are able to receive while they are listening to the blackboard teaching? Isn't it? And how to retain it. For example, when you listen to some lecture, you can learn something, but gradually after a few days, it gets evaporated. You cannot remember all the things, only some percentage can be remembered. So to avoid such kind of difficulty, to remember the things, to understand the things, to keep the things learned in mind forever, how to do it? Okay. The first thing, you have to listen carefully. Listen carefully. Isn't it? By listening carefully in the classroom, see for example when a teacher teaches you, or otherwise when a teacher teaches in a video or something like that. So when a teacher teaches on the board about a topic, you have to listen carefully. By listening, you are going to learn 60% of the subject. See, for example, today I am giving a lecture on a particular topic on the grammar. When you listen carefully to that lecture, when a teacher teaches on the board, you can acquire 60% of that. Isn't it? But this 60%, if you don't follow the next two steps, maybe gradually forget it. You are going to forget it. So, if you don't want to forget it, if you want to keep it up forever, what are the two steps we have to follow? And moreover, when you listen to a lecture carefully, even though you listen 100%, but you cannot retain more than 60%. For example, after completion of a lecture, even though you listen carefully to entire the lecture, you cannot recap the 100% material. Only 60% you can. That is why what you are supposed to do in the second step, you are supposed to read it, read the listened matter on the same day. That is what important. See, for example, your teacher taught you a lecture on a particular topic. You listened it. By the end of that lecture, you are able to understand 60%. What you are supposed to do, the same topic, that is what? Read the listened matter. Whatever you listened in the classroom, the same matter, the same lesson, the same topic, again you have to read on your own. The same day, within 24 hours at least. Otherwise, on the same day. For example, either in the morning session or afternoon session, you listen to a lecture, a topic in the class, in the college or school. The same day, you are supposed to listen the same lesson again on your own. See, while you do so, you can acquire another 20%. Isn't it? See, when you listen to the lecture of your teacher, maximum you can acquire. That is why it is very important. While you are listening to your lecture, you have to be carefully listen. It is not just a body present, mind absent. So body and mind to be concentrated on the lecture. If you listen carefully to your teacher while he was teaching, so you can acquire 60%. But to retain this 60%, in the same day you are supposed to read the same topic again on your own. So here the first attempt, the second attempt, together it becomes 80%. It is not yet completed. In the third stage, you have to practice the learned thing, learned material, learned topic. See, practice. See, for example, listen, read, practice. Actually, these are additions I added. See, listen. That is the first attempt, 60%. Read the same thing what you listened. This is another 20%. This is the first attempt, second attempt. In the third attempt, practice. See here another 20%. What to practice and how to practice? Whatever the teacher taught you in the class, that is what you are supposed to read once again on your own. Whatever you listened and understand, read and understand, these are the things you have to put in practice. See, for example, I am teaching a grammar topic here. You have to listen carefully so you can get 60%. To avoid forgetting it, to keep it up forever in your mind, again you have to practice the same. That is why I am showing the books. If not these books, any grammar book suitable, useful, you can make use. So the same topic, you listen to my lecture in the video, again you read the same topic, so you got 80%. Then you have to practice, either in the book or in the day-to-day life. You have to practice. For example, see, in the previous video we discussed the modal verbs, different contexts, how to use them. So you have to use them. You have to write down some example sentences. You have to practice some example sentences in the books. And you have to write down your own example sentences. And you have to put them in practice in your day-to-day life. If you practice them practically, you can get another 20%. This is what 100%. If you do like that, see, for example, listening carefully to the lecture in the classroom, 60%. And reading the same content again on the same day, 80%. And whatever you listened and understood, whatever you read and understood, those are the things you have to put in practice. Pragmatically, you are supposed to practice. Whatever you learned, that has to be practiced in your day-to-day life. All the subjects, whatever it might be, it is not just for learning the things and reproducing the exams and getting marks. It is not just for the marks. Each and everything has to be applied in our life. See, for example, whatever the grammar which we learn, we have to apply it in our day-to-day life. That is what effective communication. So, if you do like this, that makes 100%. See, then you never forget these things. See, for example, even though it is very effective video, effective lecture, you listen to it, you felt that you understood everything. If you don't practice these two stages, after a few days, for example, the next day you can retain only 50%. As I told you, you can acquire 60% when you listen. If you don't do these two main steps, by the next day the 60 becomes 50. After 1 week, the 50 becomes 25. After 2 weeks, it becomes 20. After 1 month, it becomes 15. After 2 months, it becomes 10. After 6 months, it may be 5%. When we talk about the title, you might remember something, 5%, something like that. So gradually, it is going to be decreased, evaporated. If you don't want to allow that to get evaporated, so you have to practice the subsequent steps. If you follow these 3 steps, you can acquire the complete knowledge. You can get complete knowledge about that particular topic. If you listen and learn, read and learn and practice, by practicing everything will be kept in the mind. You need not to bother about it. You never forget it. Continuously it will be there available in your mind. Here I will give you one simple example, one simple live example to understand it better. Studying and understanding and keeping in mind the subject is applicable with a simple example like sugar cane juice. Have you ever tasted sugar cane juice? Of course, everybody. In the summer, you might have enjoyed the sugar cane juice. Did you observe the process of making this sugar cane juice? Most of you have, you might have observed, or some of you have not. But here, 3-step method is followed by that person. First, he takes some sugarcane sticks and put into the machine, isn't it? At the time, if you observe, maximum liquid from the sugarcane sticks squeezed and extracted. Lot of juice comes out, isn't it? That is what the first step. When you listen to the lecture in the classroom to a teacher, maximum subject you can extract. Just like as the first stage in the sugarcane juice preparation. When the fresh sugarcane sticks put in the machine, a lot of juice is squeezed into the bowl. Like that, when you listen carefully to the lecture in the classroom, you can get maximum knowledge, that is 60%. Do you observe that? After the first attempt, he don't throw out that sugarcane sticks. Again, he folds them and puts the second time into the machine. If you observe, in the second time, not that much as earlier, a little bit, what is called less amount of juice is extracted for the second time. A little bit of juice comes out. That is what the second step, 20%. Even then, he don't throw it out. Again he folds it and puts some lime pieces in between and puts into the machine for the third time. In the third time, whatever it might remain, the last extract of that juice will come out along with the lime juice. That is another 20%. Then he throws it away. And he filters it and adds some ice and he may provide you the juice. Isn't it? So we can enjoy. It is very tasty. Isn't it? Like that, as 100% in the 3 stages. In the first attempt, maximum juice, 60%. In the second attempt, a little bit of juice, 20%. In the third attempt, a little bit of juice and lime juice. This is what altogether 100% sugarcane juice is ready. The same principle here. While you are listening to your lecture in the classroom, 60% you can extract. When you read the same topic on the same day, you can extract another 20%, it makes 80. When you practice what you might have learned systematically, that gives another 20%, that is 100%. That is juice of your subject. See, it is when it is you follow like that, when you study like that, you never forget about the topic because you listened, you read and you practiced it. So it is fixed in your mind. Whenever you want, at that time you can get it retrieved. When you listen to that particular topic, you can get the entire matter into your brain. You need not to by heart. Particularly that is what I want to explain to you. Nowadays everything is getting by hearted. Things are not to be by hearted. Particularly English grammar, you never try to by heart them. You try to understand them. If you understand, then you need not to by heart. There is no stress at all. Immediately, whenever the topic comes, immediately you can remember all the things and you can answer. So, without by hearting the things, easily you can retrieve the things and you can reproduce on your own without by hearting. That helps a lot, that relieves a lot of stress. Students need not to by heart the things. Just study by following these 3 steps and do the things so that you can remember and so that you can learn the subject and retrieve whenever you want. It will make you easily study and remember the things. Can you follow these steps? I hope you all can follow this and find the difference. Wish you all the best. Thank you.